The early morning air in Willowbrook Creek subdivision already carried the heavy, sticky hint of a hot Carolina day ahead. The quiet was slowly breaking as the neighborhood came alive. Lawnmowers hummed to life in the distance. Sprinklers clicked rhythmically across green lawns. Car doors slammed as commuters hurried off, and children's cheerful voices rang out as they gathered at street corners waiting for school buses. 7-year-old Emma Ramsey. This daily routine meant carefully navigating the 3 shallow steps from her front porch before making her short but determined walk to the bus stop at the corner of Maple Drive and Oak Lane. Emma wore specialized orthopedic leg braces. Intricate structures made of sturdy metal supports and molded plastic cuffs that wrapped around her lower legs. These braces were necessary due to complications from a birth defect, giving her the support she needed to walk, climb stairs, and attend school alongside the other children in her neighborhood. Though they were heavy and sometimes frustrating, Emma handled them with remarkable strength. Her resilience often left her parents amazed. Her father, Sergeant Mike Ramsey of the State Highway Patrol, a man known for his calm authority on duty, always stood by the living room window each morning. He watched until Emma's small figure, her colorful backpack bouncing lightly, safely reached the bus stop and joined the other children. Each time, his chest filled with a powerful mix of pride in her determination and a quiet, constant worry for her safety in a world that didn't always make room for differences. Like many suburban communities across the county, Willowbrook Creek was governed by a homeowners association. Its treasurer, and arguably its most intimidating presence, was Beverly Peterson. Beverly, a woman in her early 60s whose face seemed permanently set in tight disapproval, treated the HOA's finances as more than just a responsibility. It was her personal mission. She saw herself as a guardian against waste, scrutinizing every expense, no matter how small or already approved. Over time, she had built a reputation for aggressively enforcing rules, issuing fines for minor violations like leaving a recycling bin out too long or having a lawn that wasn't perfectly maintained. During HOA meetings, she frequently delivered long speeches about the importance of strict financial discipline. Her attention often focused on services she considered unnecessary, expenses she believed unfairly burdened residents. Recently, much to Mike Ramsey's growing concern, her focus had narrowed intensely onto the school bus stop near Emma Street, just 2 houses down from their home. Despite clear evidence presented by the school district at a previous meeting, Beverly had convinced herself that the specific stop, used by Emma and only 3 other children, was somehow costing the HOA money. She frequently muttered about unauthorized route changes, special accommodations, and unfair subsidies during meetings. Other board members dismissed her claims, knowing that school transportation routes were managed entirely by the district based on student addresses. But Beverly's frustration only deepened, turning into something more personal. For reasons no one fully understood, she seemed especially irritated by Emma. Watching the little girl move along the sidewalk with her braces appeared to trigger something in her, perhaps seeing those braces as a symbol of the kind of extra costs she despised. In Beverly's rigid mindset, everything came down to numbers, and there was little room for compassion or nuance. A memory resurfaced in Beverly's mind as she walked toward the bus stop that morning, gripping her clipboard tightly. Years earlier, she had stood in a bank, desperate and pleading for help after her husband's failed business left them drowning in debt. The loan officer, Mrs. Peterson, as she had once been known, had coldly refused her request. "Rules are rules," the woman had said. "We can't make exceptions based on unfortunate circumstances. Fiscal responsibility must be maintained." The humiliation of that moment had never left her. It hardened into a belief that rules should never bend, and that exceptions were signs of weakness. That bitterness now fueled her actions with renewed determination. That Tuesday morning, as Emma carefully approached the final stretch to the bus stop, Beverly Peterson was already there, standing near the curb. She tapped her foot impatiently, clutching her clipboard like a shield, her expression set with grim resolve. Right on time, the bright yellow school bus turned the corner. Its warning lights flashed amber, then red, as it slowed and came to a smooth stop beside the sign. The doors opened with a familiar hiss, revealing the friendly face of Mr. Davis, the regular driver. Mr. Davis, a kind man in his late 60s with a gentle smile, greeted Emma warmly. "Morning, Emma," he called. "Ready for another big day? Take your time getting up." Emma smiled shyly. "Morning, Mr. Davis." She adjusted her unicorn-themed backpack, gripped the handrail firmly, and carefully lifted her braced left leg onto the first step. Once steady, she began to bring her right leg up. She had just found her balance on the second step when everything changed. Beverly suddenly lunged forward from the curb, her face twisted with misplaced anger. "Stop right there," she shouted sharply, her voice loud enough to startle Emma. "This stop is not authorized. Driver, I'm telling you, this pickup is not approved. The HOA is not paying for this." Before Mr. Davis could react, and before Emma could even understand what was happening, Beverly reached into the bus entryway with surprising speed. She grabbed the straps of Emma's backpack tightly and yanked backward with force. Emma cried out in fear as her balance disappeared instantly. She was pulled off the steps, stumbling helplessly backward before falling hard onto the concrete curb. A sharp metallic sound rang out as the rigid bar of her leg brace slammed against the edge of the curb, bending at an unnatural angle. Pain shot through her leg, intense and immediate, mixing with shock and terror. Tears filled her eyes as she struggled to understand what had just happened. "Ma'am, what are you doing?" Mr. Davis shouted, his calm demeanor replaced by anger. He jumped from his seat, rushing forward. "Get away from her. Are you out of your mind? You just hurt her." The ground, clutching her leg. For a brief moment, she seemed shaken, but it didn't last. Her sense of justification quickly returned. "I am Beverly Peterson, treasurer of the Willowbrook Creek HOA," she declared loudly, holding up her clipboard as if it gave her authority. "This stop is an unauthorized expense. It's costing the residents money, and I'm putting an end to it right now. This child needs to find another way to get to school. We are not paying for this." "My leg hurts," Emma sobbed, pointing at her bent brace. "You broke it. I can't stand." Ignoring Beverly entirely, Mr. Davis grabbed his radio. "Dispatch! This is Bus 47 at Willowbrook Creek, Maple and Oak. I need police immediately. An adult just assaulted a student while boarding. The child is injured. Her medical brace is damaged. Suspect is a white female, about 60. Identify herself as Beverly Peterson, HOA treasurer. Request police and possible EMS." He ended the call and stepped between Beverly and the bus, his posture firm. "Don't move," he said sharply. "Police are on the way." The call went out over the highway patrol frequency. Sergeant Mike Ramsey, patrolling nearby, felt his blood run cold as he heard the details. His neighborhood, his daughter, injured. Without hesitation, he responded, his voice steady despite the surge of adrenaline. "Dispatch, Unit 214. I'm en route. Code 3. ETA 3 minutes." Sirens blared as he sped toward the scene, his training guiding his driving. But beneath it, a father's fear pushed him faster. He arrived in under 3 minutes. The bus sat at the intersection, lights flashing. A small group of neighbors had gathered. Emma was on the curb, crying softly while Mr. Davis knelt beside her. Beverly stood nearby, tense but still defiant. Mike stepped out of his vehicle, ignoring everything except his daughter. He knelt beside her immediately. "Hey, sweetheart," he said gently. "Daddy's here. Tell me where it hurts." Emma pointed to her leg and the bent brace. "She pulled me off the bus," she whispered. "It hurts." Mike examined the damage, his jaw tightening. Then he stood slowly and turned toward Beverly, his expression cold and controlled. "Ma'am," he said evenly, "I'm Sergeant Ramsey with the State Highway Patrol. I need to know exactly what happened here." Beverly straightened, ready to defend herself. "Officer, I was enforcing HOA regulations." Mike raised his hand, cutting her off. "Right now. My concern is the assault of a minor." He turned to Mr. Davis. "Does this bus have cameras?" "Yes, sir," Mr. Davis replied. "Cameras covering the front and the steps." "I need to see that footage," Mike said. Moments later, the video played, clear and undeniable. Emma stepping onto the bus, Beverly shouting, then the grab, the violent pull, the fall. Mike watched silently, his face unreadable. Then he turned back to Beverly. Based on the evidence, he said calmly, you are under arrest. Arrest? Beverly snapped. For what? For felony child abuse, Mike replied, stepping forward and securing her wrists in handcuffs. You used force against a minor, causing injury and damage to medical equipment. You're also being charged with interfering with school transportation. As he read her rights, Beverly protested loudly, her voice filled with outrage. But Mike remained steady, guiding her toward the patrol car as stunned neighbors looked on in silence. Moments later, paramedics arrived to assess Emma's injuries, confirming the brace was severely damaged and she needed immediate medical care. What began as an ordinary morning had turned into something no one in Willowbrook Creek would ever forget